Things were going smooth. We had the loot, the path was clear, and the vault just wasn't far. And then I died, like a dumbass. Naturally, I expected my team to revive me. But instead, Gary over here decided the bots were a bigger threat than my corpse bleeding out next to him. Don't go where I can't follow, bro. Not like this. And there he goes. Not to revive me, not to carry my legacy, just to snatch my gear and dip before the gas chokes him. Vaultbreakers. Doesn't have friendly fire, but it does have friendly abandonment issues. This is Vaultbreakers, where loot is love. Teamwork is optional, but extraction is everything. Vaultbreakers is what happens when someone at Better Dwarf says, extraction shooters are great, but I want swords, I want spells, and a moral compass held together with duct tape. And honestly, that kind of slaps for me, harder than it has any right to. You play as a Vault Guard, part of an ancient magical task force whose job it is to dive into cursed zones, collect dangerous artifacts, and stop the world from exploding. Which sounds noble. Until you realise you're basically the fantasy equivalent of a cleaner in a nuclear facility where everything is actively trying to kill you. The vaults were supposed to keep ancient horrors sealed. Yeah, they're breaking. Void-born corruption is leaking into the world, mutating wildlife, summoning cults, and waking up dragons that were definitely not due for another season. You drop into places like Blood Swamp, a zone that's a health hazard with bonus spiders, Wolfswood, basically if Skyrim had a rabies outbreak, or Titan Factory where goblins are just trying to build mech gods out of trash and vibes. Each run is a mess, and that's fun. You're here to loot what you can find, fight off twisted mobs, and extract before something crushes, corrupts, or eats you. And here's the kicker, there's no friendly fire. If you die mid-raid, your teammate can absolutely scoop your body clean and bounce. The Vault doesn't care. There's no honor system, no morality bar, no loyalty XP, just one rule, get in, get loot, get out. Everything else is just a side quest. Kinda like that. Combat and champions. Combat in Vaultbreakers is clean, punchy, and surprisingly techno. It's got depth, it's got flash, and impact. It's like someone turned Diablo into an MMA match. It's chaos, but premium chaos, like a food fight in a 5-star restaurant. You don't just pick class, you pick a champion. And they each feel different in the best and sometimes worst ways. Thora, the Undying Weird Seeker. Big axe, big damage, big drama. She's all about single target punishment and durability. Mobility, you're talking 1960s larder. You press dodge and she politely declines her input. She's the kind of warrior who wants to die in glorious battle, and if you're new, that'll happen a lot sooner than she expects. Nymeria, Guardian of the Ancestors, light, fast and fragile. She's high damage, low durability with a playstyle that screams, I watched Legolas once and I thought I could do that. She's great right up until someone looks at her wrong and she folds like a wet napkin. Still, if you like playing keep away with spirit arrows, pretending you're sneaky while glowing neon green, this is your girl. Sparkwind, the Curious Adventurer. If Vaultbreakers had a mascot, it'd be this electrified gremlin. Sparkwind is all about mobility and area of effect magic, dashing around like a cracked out hummingbird with lightning powers. He's fun, he's fast, and he will absolutely aggro the entire forest because you blinked to the wrong direction. Beyond Nia, the jovial juggernaut, tanky, brawly, crowd controlling brick of a man. He's here to hold the line, freeze enemies in place, and look like Thor's bearded cousin who's never skipped protein day. His only weakness is actually doing damage. He's like the opposite of Sparkwing. He's not going anywhere fast, but if you get in range, you're going to get pancake. Lumiri, the Forest Bloom. Support, main heaven. She shields and she heals. She controls the battlefield like a leafy overlord of friendship. Her vibe is, nature will protect you. Until the cooldowns run out and you're screaming for help while she sings to the plants. Grading teams, in solos, I hope you bought a backup plan and some sort of emotional support. Every champion in Vaultbreakers comes with unique perks, their own artifact ultimate, and a learning curve from easy to pick up to needs a YouTube guide and therapy. The game rewards skill. Dodges matter, spacing matters, and spamming buttons like you're auditioning for a rhythm game. Yeah, that's a good way to die tired. Vaultbreakers makes you feel the difference between good and great, especially when you're the only thing standing between your team and a wipe. And and when you are the wipe.
PvE and enemy chaos. Vaultbreakers is PvPvE, which means it's not just you versus the environment. It's you versus the mobs, versus the void, versus your teammates' bad decisions, versus the fact you haven't really unlocked a real weapon yet, and also, surprise, you just got aggroed by a bear. It starts simple. You load into a raid, you're feeling good, your squad's vibing, the music's swelling, you tag a couple of cultists and boom, here comes the Voidborn, 4 wolves and a mutant crab that throws acid at your eyebrows. The last one might be an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Suddenly, it's not a dungeon crawl, it's a war crime in progress. But the best part, the mobs don't care about each other. You can run past 3 different factions and they all decide you're the problem. I had a moment where I aggroed a rock bear. I ran straight into a bandit patrol. They ignored the rock bear and opened fire on me, like I was the main villain in a Disney reboot. Enemy AI in Vaultbreakers are aggressive. They're relentless and just a little bit clingy. You break line of sight, they follow you. You hide in a bush, they follow you. You jump a fence, run through a ritual, sprint into the gas and fall off a ledge. Guess what? Still following you. The bear has loyalty issues and you're the X. It's also worth noting you can't rely on the mobs to help you with other players. There's no third-party advantage here. You don't get to kite enemies into rival squads and hope they duke it out. They'll focus on you harder while the other player waves at you from the extraction. Vaultbreakers PvPvE isn't balanced chaos, it's focused violence, and you're the focus. And when things go wrong, they go wrong fast. One missed dodge, one over aggro, one spark when you think's blinking into danger is a personality trait, and suddenly your team's down, your gear's on the floor, and you're watching from the spectator cam as your buddy loots your body and whispers, "You would have wanted me to have it."
Looting in Vaultbreakers is a special kind of anxiety. It starts simple, you open a chest, get some gems, maybe a new perk, and you're feeling good. Then you realise your teammate just ran ahead and aggroed half the map, and now you're sprinting for your life holding 12 crystals and a fragile sense of optimism. This game wants you to get greedy, but greed gets you dead. Extraction is where the real pressure kicks in. There's no, "I'll stash this and come back later." It's escape with your loot or lose it all. And if you're in a duo, well, let's just say revival isn't guaranteed. Sometimes your friend will leave you for dead, grab your bag and hit the portal like you were a side quest. You don't have to be toxic, the extraction system does it for you. Progression ties into your perks and artifact. You level up your character, unlock more perk slots, and fine-tune your build until you get stomped by a sparkling with ADHD and better aim. Perks are like mini talents tied to each champion. You get more as you level, and they do make a difference, but it's not enough to carry bad decisions. Trust me, I tested that personally. And if you're wondering, can I just stack the power and brute force my way out of every run? No. You're not a god, you're a glorified delivery guy in fancy armour. The game wants you to play smart, to weigh every risk, to choose when to push, when to extract, and when to scream at your duo for not reviving you again. So yeah, loot is power, power is risk, and risk is everything. Vaultbreakers doesn't just test your build, it tests your greed, your timing, and your friendships, usually in that order. Missions in Vaultbreakers are handed out by the glowing NPCs like Milloween, who looks like she moonlights as both a raid boss and a skincare influencer. But she gives you quests like, recover the ancient relic of light. But really, you're just looting a gold belly statue out of a bandit shack while trying not to aggro every squirrel in a 2-mile radius. Quests come in a few flavours. Fetch this, kill that, clear out the spooky ruin. And occasionally, you'll grab a quest item only to find out your duo doesn't get the credit. So now you're running it again, like some kind of fantasy Uber Eats intern. The world itself, visually gorgeous. The maps are split across zones like Wolfswood, Emberwing, and the absolutely not ominous sounding Blood Swamp. They sound like fantasy zones, but they play more like themed murder rooms. And then there's the Voidborn. These things are like if the Eldritch gods got bored of cosmic horror and decided to cosplay as a plant monster with attitude. They show up mid-mission and immediately ruin your day, teleporting, exploding, pulling aggro for 17 kilometers away. It's like the dev went, what if we added a second raid boss and didn't tell you? And look, it's not all bad. There's moments of calm, the occasional open space, a quiet village, a peaceful ruin, before a rock bear tackles you through a fence. This world wants to kill you, but it also wants you to come back. For the loot, for the challenge for one more run moment where you swear you'll just finish that quest, and then you die again to a group of skeletons having a team meeting. So, is Vaultbreakers worth your time? Short answer, yeah, but don't come in soft. This is a game that doesn't hold your hand. It ties your shoelaces together and it pushes you into a dungeon with a smile. It's messy, it's clever, it's got bugs, it's got jank, brilliance, betrayal, and sometimes all of that is in the same run. You've got combat that's responsive and satisfying, unless you're Thora and whiff at point blank, unique champions with real variety, a world that's both gorgeous and actively trying to murder you, progression systems that actually reward smart play, PvPvE tension that turns every match into a co-op trustful over a pit of flaming wolves. It's not perfect, the UI still stings a little bit, the matchmaking during the playtest felt like waiting in a dentist lobby with a loot bag, and Sparkwing will aggro the boss early every time. But even with all that, I kept coming back because under the chaos, under the bugs, under the loot betrayal, Vaultbreakers gets it. It gets the risk versus reward, the build craft, the tense extractions, and the oh god no, why is the bear still following me panic we love in games like this. If you like ARPGs, if you like extraction mechanics, if you like games that hurt your feelings in a good way, Vaultbreakers is absolutely going to be worth your time, especially if you like being punished by tree spirits and pixel bears for your bad decisions. Vaultbreakers, to me, is like Diablo and Darker had a baby, then left it in the woods with nothing but trauma and a sword. If you like the breakdown, hit the like, sub, comment below with the dumbest way you've died in Vaultbreakers if you had the chance to play it, or any other game really. And if you say, I fell off a cliff while looting, don't worry, you're not alone.